So, what is it that I'm concerned about that nobody is talking about? So, there are equity companies that are formed from people who have lots of money. So, say there's 10 people and each of the 10 people have $100 million, and they come together and now they have $1 billion and they buy real estate. Let's say they buy real estate in the West End of Louisville. And let's say that you are currently renting in the West End of Louisville. And so these companies, if you're able to buy $1 billion worth of real estate, you can control the price of rent. Because when you think about just supply and demand and who has control, if I own all of the houses or I own a good percentage of the houses, then I can dictate how much I charge for rent. And then these big guys, if you're charging, let's say you're charging $2,000 for a 1 bedroom apartment, and then a little guy comes along and says, hey, they're getting $2,000 for a 1 bedroom apartment. Let me increase my 1 bedroom to $2,000 a month. So do you see how, if you're renting, how eventually you're not going to be able to afford to rent? And you're like, why do you keep talking about this? I just want everybody to buy a house. You're like, you just want everybody to buy a house because you're a real estate agent. You know what? Don't use me as a real estate agent, but buy a house. If you're renting, buy a house. And people are like, well, if the market shifts and it's a buyer's market and there's more houses out there and our price is going to go down, I don't know. Because we still need a lot of houses. So the only way price is going to come down is if people don't still need houses. Demand has to come down in order for the price to come down. If the demand is still high, then the price is not going to come down. So the people who are positioning themselves just in case the prices come down, they're investors. They're people like me who invest in real estate. And if we're the ones that are buying up all of the houses, then we get to control the rent. Buy a house while it's still affordable. And you might be thinking, it's not affordable. This is as affordable as it's going to get. So get pre-qualified, get a dollar amount that you qualify for, and buy wherever you can afford. I keep telling you this, I bought the ugliest, stinkiest, smelliest, junkiest house for $89,000 in 2002. Why? Because that's what I could afford. And that house, the basement leaked. Like, we lived in the house with the basement leaking for years. I couldn't afford sometimes when something would go wrong with the sink. This is before, YouTube was really popular. If something went wrong with the bathroom sink, I literally remember us brushing our teeth in the kitchen. Like, we just made it work. And now that house is worth over $200,000 and only paid $89,000 for it. That's what I want you to do. How much ever you can afford, buy a house wherever it is that you can afford, and over time, fix it up if you don't have the money to fix it up right away. And then this is the last thing that I'll leave you with. It depends on who you're having conversations with as far as people's love for Louisville. I challenge you to, no matter where you live in Louisville, Kentucky, to find something positive about that area. I was in a meeting where people were talking, this person was like, oh, I love being by Central Park. I got Central Park, or I'm behind Iroquois Park, or wherever. Find something to love about the neighborhood that you are in and just be thankful. So get your credit together so you can position yourself to buy a house as soon as possible so that you're not a victim of bigger companies that come in and buy up neighborhoods, and then they get to control the rent, and you're with no place to live. I know that sounds doom and gloom, but I just want you to buy a house so bad. Buy a house. That's all I got. Let's go.